Ralph Arnold Kassen was born rich with heritage in Edmonton, Alberta, and he would stay a lifetime Alberta boy, into a family active in ministry. Baby of the family to Mike and Addie Kassen, he had two older siblings, Ross and Rhoda. Ralph's father, Michael Kassen, was saved at a Zuzu Street revival. Mike took pride in his personal and very independent ministry. Might be where Ralph got it. His tracks were translated into many languages, including Hindi, Portuguese, Vietnamese, and Polish. He would play 8mm, 16mm reels of revivals, evangelists, preachers, and special speakers at his home church. All were welcome. Families would travel to sit and watch a message. Addie was a mission secretary and bookkeeper. She would write personal letters of encouragement and update the missionaries. Through that correspondence, she developed personal relationships. We heard more about them growing up than we did about our own blood relatives. On the wall in the dining room were pictures of all the missionaries she prayed for. If Edmonton Gospel Temple Jubilee Golden Memories of 1996 was Yelp, Addie got 5 stars and a raving review. Ralph graduated Temple Bible College in 1975. Just like his father, he took his calling seriously. It just looked a little different. Ralph was then ordained by Jacob Tews. Anyone else interested in knowing what Hilda's cutting her eyes at in this photo? Ralph launched his ministry starting at Grand Forks. I heard many stories of how beautiful and fun and rewarding their time was in Grand Forks. I didn't ever hear a bad story from this time, just one of hardships, fond memories of the land and people. And then I see a photo of inside their house, their cabin, with plywood, and I question the romancing of this season in his life. He could always spin a story. In 1978 to 1982, Calvary Gospel Temple in Manning, Alberta became home. This community took care of us. Ralph tells a story of resigning in Manning on a Sunday morning without a plan, and that evening he receives a call from Burdette Laney asking if he would consider pastoring in Amisk, Alberta. He stayed there from 1982 to 1988. Rich, supportive, lifetime relationships were grown here. In 1988, Ralph knew it was time to resign from Amisk, and did, without a plan. See a pattern here? He took a year to work at the Nelson farm, and then in 1989, Camrose Community Church became home. Now let's really talk about Ralph. Just like his father, there's not a camera he didn't love. Ralph was a walking character. He didn't mind dressing up or acting a fool to make all ages comfortable in his presence. Ralph loved the Gummerson Act with Wayne Forsberg. Ralph was known to show his false teeth for a good joke and a surprise. Ralph had value and a passion for the local church and community. Where's Ralphie? Front and center. He loved to bring people together. Kids, teens, family. He loved directing camps. There would be a lot of games, snacks, and prizes. Ralph loved Kids Adventure Club. I always heard what was on the menu. And know that kid in the blonde hair in the front row? Where's Ralphie? There he is! If you haven't figured it out, Ralph was in it, modeling to both kids and volunteers how to be like a kid and serve at the same time. Where's Ralphie? There he is! Did we mention snacks and food? If you were with Ralph, you would be fed. Where's Ralphie? There he is! Ralph was always willing to serve and have fun. Where's Ralphie? There he is! I show you these pictures for a couple of reasons. 1, Ralph understood that youth were the future of the kingdom of God. And 2, this precious girl in the pink shirt up front. If you've ever been a pastor's kid or an unpaid or volunteer staff kid, we feel ya. All were welcome with Ralph, including the cowboys and the bikers. If Ralph was interested, there'd be a group or a social event around it. Ralph always had a song, and if he was lucky, you'd sing along. You guessed it, Ralph loved fishing. Group fishing! But don't let his silliness sidetrack you from his love for Jesus and being a minister of the gospel. He had great respect, much like his father, for the different roles in ministry. For example, ordination, licensing. Baby dedications were among his favorite. Charging the local church to support family in raising a child. He equally loved, and maybe a little bit more, a water baptism. He enjoyed his church family proclaiming their love for Jesus, and it usually meant a party and a meal. You might see a theme here, a running theme. He had a flair for communication, administration, and loved his time publishing the Fellowship Report. He was kept up to date and thrived being in the know and including you in on it. Ralph never missed an opportunity to share God's message in a local paper or any other opportunities he got. Check out that stash. It's back. Ralph also kept a local and global vision. If he couldn't go, he would send a team. Ralph loved communion. As a kid, we helped make communion bread. This traveling communion kit has gotten almost everywhere with him. He kept this close to him just in case, always remembering what Jesus did for us at the cross. Pastor Ralph loved serving God's people. Thank you for honoring him in this way.